Okay, welcome everyone to Denby Dale Amateur Radio Club. And I'm really delighted tonight to welcome Mike, Delta Lima 1 Bravo Juliet Whiskey, and Adriana, Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango to tonight's meeting, two Denby Dale Club members that offered to do the first of our learning a foreign language for amateur radio class, and they volunteered, understandably, to do us one in the German language. So we're starting with German. They have produced a guide. Anyone who hasn't seen a copy of it that I've made available to club members on the email list, and I think I also dropped onto our Facebook group page as well for people to download. If you haven't, during their presentation, we'll drop a copy of the PDF file into the chat, and you can pick it up from there and download it onto your own computer and read it at your own leisure. So I'm delighted to introduce them. One of the things that English-speaking radio amateurs, so I'm talking to obviously those of us in the United Kingdom and in the States, are very used to is other amateurs having to speak to us in English. And English is very much an international language used in radio. But of course, you know, beyond the people that are operating on air, there are lots of people who don't really speak English, who are amateurs in other countries whose language is Spanish or German or French or Russian or whatever, the Ukrainian, whatever the language might be. And many of those, of course, stick to Morse code and CW because it's a lot easier to learn the shortcut language that people use in CW QSOs than it is to actually try and speak another language. And it's been a long time, I think, that any radio clubs attempted to run a class or any classes on speaking in another language. So I think this is a first for many, many years, in England at least, in a club setting up a meeting to try and introduce people into speaking another language. And I'm not going to embarrass anyone, so it's going to be entirely up to you. Mike and Adriana are going to give people an opportunity to volunteer to try and speak some of the phrases themselves and get some nice feedback on it as well. So I'm not going to embarrass someone by saying, Roger, you're next. I'll let Roger volunteer for it rather than force him to do it. That's what we're intending to do tonight. So Mike, Adriana, I'm going to hand it over to you. I don't know who's going to go first between the two of you, and I'll hand the microphone to you.
Yeah, thank you very much, and good evening, everybody. I even saw a very dear friend of us, Tommy G0LEF, joining the meeting. Hi, Mara, nice to see you. And we try to give you a little bit of an insight into German for hams, as it is called, Deutsch für Funkamateure. Of course, it's far from perfect, but I think let's give it a try. So I think, first of all, we will start with the numbers, die Zahlen in German. And therefore, we have to turn to the first page of our script. Nick, I would you please go to or show the first page of the script?
I will. Okay, let me just put that on the screen for you. I've been having some problems with. I should have done it in LibreOffice, shouldn't I? I'm having some problems in PowerPoint, but I'm going to put it up on the screen now. So.
Very good. And the next page would be the numbers.
Yeah, you got the numbers now?
No, it's German for hams still on the screen. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so we'll start with the numbers in this way Adriana's starting to pronounce numbers.
So the numbers, we start with the 0. It's in German called Null.
That's null in German, with an U as in full, for example, null.
And then number 1 is eins.
Eins, eins like in Heinz without an H, of course.
And number 2 is called zwei.
That's zwei, zwei. It's a little bit difficult because it's spoken like TSVY.
And then number 3 is drei.
Drei. So not dry with the English R, but with the German R, drei, drei.
And then number 4 is vier.
Vier, not fear, but vier with the German R at the end. Vier.
By the way, if you want to write down another way for the pronunciation, you are free to do it. It's only a suggestion.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. Perhaps you've got a better way to memorize it than our pronunciation guide there. That's totally okay with us.
And number 5 is fünf.
Fünf. So,
Right. Mike, Adriana, shall
Yep.
we just see if we've got any volunteers to read us out in German?
Yeah.
Yeah,
In
of course.
German.
Okay.
0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Who wants to have a go? Steve, go on, Steve.
0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Sehr gut.
Absolutely
Very
excellent.
good. Very good. Excellent.
You don't need
Ken-
our lesson, Steve.
Ken, you waved your hand as well. Go on, Ken.
0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Very good.
Very good.
Yeah, good.
Anyone else want to have a crack at those ones before we move on to the next ones? I know you're holding your glass up, Richard. Yeah, Gerald, go on.
0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay?
Very
Okay,
good.
very well.
Prepare.
So you see that the Ü in fünf is a little bit difficult because that's one of the German umlauts. And it's very difficult to show that as in the pronunciation line there, but you all pronounce it very well.
Yeah.
So I think that can be reckoned as a success. And perhaps we go further on to the next page, Nick.
Okay, next page is on the screen, I hope.
Not yet?
Not yet.
I wonder why we're having fun with this, me running the Have you got it now? No?
No, still looking at the numbers 0 to 5.
Right.
I think you're not sharing the actual PowerPoint. I think you're sharing your screen.
Is that what the problem is? Hang on a second, let me have a look. I seem to have two versions going there.
Mm.
Have you got the numbers now?
We've got
No,
1 to
no.
5.
Still 1 to 5. Okay, right. I'm
No,
just gonna
0
shut
to 5. Yeah.
I'm just going to shut that down and start again because not
Okay.
quite sure.
Yes, I think you were sharing your desktop.
Ian, do you want to just give it a go? Because my PowerPoint is playing up for some reason.
That's excellent. Thank
That's
you.
it. Brilliant. Thanks, Ian.
Thank you, Ian. So we start with the second serial, starting with 6.
Yes.
Sechs, sieben.
Yes.
Yeah.
Number 6 is sechs,
That's 6 in German. 6.
and number 7 is sieben,
That's 7. 7.
and number 8 is acht.
8. Which is a little bit difficult because of the CH, but it's yeah, that's
very
correct.
good, very
I
good.
don't know who said it, but it was excellent.
Excellent.
8, like
Steven.
as an under and then
9,
Yes, nine,
9, yeah,
and number 10 is
Ten.
10,
10,
10, yeah,
and number 11 is 11,
11, genau.
and number 12 is 12.
12. There you have another umlaut. This time it's not Ü, but Ö.
So I'll explain it later when I explain the pronunciation of the umlaut.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Who wants to have a crack then at doing 6 to 12? 12 being the most difficult, I think, of those. But
yeah.
who wants to have a go? Who wants to have a go at these?
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11,
Let's
12.
go on, Terry. Go on, Terry. You got your hand up.
Okay. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Sehr gut, very good.
Very good.
Well done, Terry. Anyone else wants to have a crack? Yeah, go on, Gerald.
Okay. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, sorry.
Yeah,
11
Yeah.
and 12.
yeah,
Oh,
very good.
It's especially difficult to pronounce 12, but you did it very well.
I've got Samuel as well. Go on, just before you come back, Mike. Samuel, go on. Sam, did you want to come in? No. Okay, no, yeah,
CW signals.
yes. CW came over. That wasn't quite what I was looking for. Go on then, Steve, and then I'll hand it back to Mike. Go on, Steve.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Very good.
Very good.
Very good. Okay. So I think we can go further and turn over to the next page, pronunciation. Thank you.
So pronunciation of some a little bit tricky sounds. For example, CHS in sechs is pronounced like an X. This is quite simple, but CH is a little bit more difficult, but you did it quite well when you practice it. CH as in acht for 8, or ich like I, is formed in the back of your mouth and pretend to form an English R, and then lower your tongue and exhale. It's like, it doesn't sound very healthy, but it's right. So then Ü as in 5, number 5, you form the sound of an E as in cheese, but then shape your lips into an O, E. And I think Ö as in 12 is a little bit easier. It's a sound as in her or in nurse. And E as in ändern, to change, is a sound as in air. And then Z as in zwei sounds like TS. It's not Z, it's zwei.
Yeah.
Yes, so we can turn to the next page of the pronunciation.
Okay. Next one would be the pronunciation of the so-called diphthongue. And these are the following. EU as in 9 is a sound like oi, noise, oi. And yeah. And EI as in zwei is like the English word for I.
Huh? And
Oh, yeah.
yeah, and IE, as in fear, is like EA as in ear. And AU in 1000 is like OU in 1000. So this is only for a reminder. If you read some German words, you have a help to pronounce it.
Very
then
helpful.
Are there some questions about that, about the pronunciation we had on the last 2 pages, or should we continue?
Okay, yeah. Anyone got any question to Mike or Adriana before we press on? No, everyone's happy. Let's move on, shall we?
Okay, so we can go on to exercise 1. Thank you.
Very good, actually. Very good.
So I think we can handle it so that I'll read it once and Mike will repeat it, and then we can do the interactive part. The first question is, what's your call sign? Wie lautet Ihr Rufzeichen?
So once again,
Wie lautet Rufzeichen?
Yeah.
Wie lautet Ihr Rufzeichen? Rufzeichen is quite a long word, but I think it could be circumscribed as we did here on the screen. Rufzeichen.
Rufzeichen.
So is Rufzeichen the actual word for call sign?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can also say call sign. It's also
Of course.
Everybody will
usual,
understand the
yeah.
word call sign, but
Yeah, yeah.
actually it's correct. Rufzeichen is the same as call sign.
Wie lautet Ihr Rufzeichen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. And my call sign is DL8 BDT. Mein Rufzeichen ist Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango. So if you want to spell something in a QSO with a German hem, you can spell it with a NATO alphabet. You don't need to say Anton, Bertha, Richard, and so on. Nobody uses it in a German QSO. You can use the NATO alphabet, but in this exercise, you can try to spell the numbers in a German way, and so only the letters, only the letters with a NATO alphabet.
Yeah, so we have as last sentence, mein Rufzeichen ist Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango, or of course Golf 4 India Whiskey Oscar, Golf 4 India Whiskey Oscar, or your prospective call sign. Okay, so someone who wants to read this.
Mein Rufzeichen ist.
Pardon?
Yeah.
Who is that? Go on, someone wants to do it in front of everyone. Who wants to have a crack?
Oh, sorry, that was me. I wasn't. I forgot I got the mic on.
Go on then, Kevin. You can go ahead.
Mein Rufzeichen ist Delta. The 8. Got Delta. 8. Bravo Delta Tango.
Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent. And the question.
Wie lautet Ihr Rufzeichen?
Yeah. Okay. And the answer is?
Probably you can fill in your own call sign.
Mein Rufzeichen ist Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay.
Sam, you've got your hand up. KF3G.
Ja, Entschuldigung für das CV-Vorschau-Mikrofon-Eingang. Und hier in den Vereinigten Staaten sage ich, mein Rufzeichen ist Kaufmann Friedrich Gustav. Hi, hi.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Done it before.
Yeah, very good to hear that. But of course, everybody can handle it in his own way or her own way. And yeah, as I said, we are used to the NATO alphabet here, but of course, the German alphabet does exist and it can be used as well. It's okay. So, do we have some other?
I have a question about the German alphabet. I have trouble with the X.
Yeah.
With the X in phonetically in German. Is it San Tippa?
Yeah, Xantippe. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Xantippe. Yeah. Xantippe.
Xantippe. That's the letter I with my call sign. That's the trouble I have with that one letter. Thank you.
Okay.
Ein russischer ist.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W.
So, there are a lot of people who know quite a bit of German in the background. I'm astonished but pleased.
Ja, meine Frau ist Deutsch.
That explains quite a lot. Okay, so should we proceed to exercise 2, Nick?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
So the second exercise.
Name is, wie ist Ihr Name?
Name.
And my name is Peter. Mein Name ist Peter.
Mein Name ist Peter. Well, I didn't know that. Okay, so who wants to give it a try?
Gerald, go ahead.
Okay. Wie ist Ihr Name?
Ja.
Mein Name ist Gerhard.
Yeah.
Sehr gut. Very good.
Very good.
Someone else?
Meine
Yes,
Name.
go on, Jeff. Jeff from Belgium.
Wie ist Ihre Name? Mein Name ist Jeff.
Well, okay, Jeff, we know that you speak excellent German even before this lesson.
It's even better now.
But, your pronunciation is especially good. Okay, so I think we proceed to exercise 3. If
we got. I think Terry wants to just quickly try this. Go on, Terry.
Wie ist Ihr Name?
Yeah.
Mein Name ist Terry.
Yeah.
Ausgezeichnet. Very good.
A question, please, if I may. Mein Name ist Terry. Is Terry, which is the English pronunciation, accepted, expected, or is there a German way of saying that? And if I didn't know it, should I try to use German pronunciation of my name?
I can say Terry. The Germans would say Terry. It's a little bit more back in the throat, but I think it would be right if you say it in your way. This will be
of course, and of
good.
course you can always spell it like in Tango Echo Romeo
Yes.
or something like that.
Terry would be.
Yeah, that's quite okay. Okay, I have to say something. I apologize. We are not seeing the pictures of all the participants. So if someone is holding up his hand or getting himself to put a question, we can't see it on our screen now. So please address Nick, who has possibilities.
Okay, thanks, Mike. Right, should we press on to the next exercise?
Of course, exercise 3.
Your signal report is, Ihr Rapport ist.
Ihr Rapport ist.
5 and 9, 5 und 9.
5 und 9. So who wants to give it a try?
Who wants to try?
It's 5 and 9.
Yeah, well done, Russell. Go again, Russell. We'll do it one more time. I spoke over you by accident.
Sorry, Ihr Report ist 5 and 9.
Yeah, very good.
Very good.
Danke.
Anyone else want to try that one? Your report is? Yes, Gerald.
Again. Hier rapport is 5.9.
Yeah, very
Excellent.
good.
Yeah.
Sehr gut.
I'm getting better.
Go on, Jeff. You're on mute, Jeff. We can't hear you.
Ihr rapport is 5.9 plus 30 dB.
That would be quite nice. Okay. Yeah. So I think we can go further. Yeah. Okay. So we are coming to the abbreviations, which will be read by Adriana.
Yes, first is it's HF,
HF,
CW, CV,
CV,
CQ, CQ,
CQ,
QSO, QSO,
QSO.
QTH,
Also
QTH, QTH, QRT, QRT,
QRT,
QRG, QRG,
QRG,
QRM, QRM,
QRM,
QSB, QSB,
QSA,
QSL, QSL,
QSL,
QRZ, QRZ.
QRZ. So, who wants to try?
Who wants to go first? Try all the abbreviations. Everyone's gone shy now. Come on, someone's going to volunteer.
CW, CW, if you give me CW, please.
Can have a go if you like, Nick.
No,
Okay.
give Stephen CW and then I'll get Gerald to try them out. Go on then.
Bouvet? Souvet? No.
No. What's that in English? I didn't get it.
CW, CW.
Ah, CW, CV, CV.
Oh, CV, CV.
It's not they, but
Yeah.
the. It's
Yeah. CW. CV.
That language.
CV. Yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
get it.
that's right.
CV.
Yeah.
CV. Yeah, CV.
Yeah, it's one
So actually, Mike, I think we should have changed that, shouldn't we? I think the W is actually not VAY. It's more like VEE, CV.
CV? No.
no,
CV.
No, CV. It's CV.
CV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
V.
Yeah.
No. Oui.
Maybe with an EY, VEY rather than VAY.
Perhaps. So that's the difficulty with the pronunciation. You have to imagine how a English-speaking person would write it down if it would be an English word, which is spelled like the German. It's a little bit complicated. So when you figure it out, after a short while, you go a little bit mad. So I hope that it will be helpful anyway.
Okay.
That's richtig. That's okay.
Yeah, Gerald, did you want to have a go at them all?
Yeah, I'm just confused with the HF. Is it ha with a th at the beginning and a th at the end? Ha, or is it just ha f?
HF.
HF. The second was correct.
So I can.
HF. Yeah.
Probably just HA. Probably just HA or HAA.
What? Yeah.
Yeah, perhaps. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what
HAR. HAR. HF.
Yeah.
CV is okay.
Yeah.
So
the final H was added by us because of it gives us more stress to the A before. So we thought anyway, but of course it can be expressed very much better. You're right. HA and then hyphen EFF. HF.
the abbreviations once only in German. This might be for a reminder. It's HF, CW, CQ, QSO, QTH, QRT, QRG, QRM, QSB, QSL, QRZ.
Yeah.
So I think if there are no further questions, we can turn to the next page.
Okay, thank you.
And that would be another QSO, simple QSO part 1.
So is this frequency in use? Ist diese Frequenz frei?
Ist diese Frequenz frei?
CQ, this is DL8 BDT. CQ, allgemeiner Anruf von DL8 BDT.
CQ, allgemeiner Anruf von DL8 BDT oder Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango.
This is DL8 BDT calling CQ and listening. DL8 BDT ruft CQ und hört.
DL8 BDT ruft CQ und hört.
So does anybody?
Okay, who wants to call CQ? First of all, asking is the frequency in use. Go on, Ian.
Ist diese Frequenz frei?
Yeah.
Okay.
CQ allgemeiner Anruf von Mike 6 India Tango Hotel.
Very good.
Mike 6 India Tango Hotel ruft CQ und hört.
Sehr gut. Very good.
Excellent.
Right, thanks, Ian. Good start. Anyone else want to have a go? Terry, go on.
A question, please. Mike, can you just say the ist des Frequenz frei? You said it differently to what I read it.
Ist das frequency in use? Ist diese Frequenz frei?
It's frequenz. I don't know how you perhaps.
Ist dies or dieser?
Diese.
Okay, thank you.
It's yeah.
Yes, it's a little bit difficult
It's a little
to
bit
transcribe.
difficult because of the end E, I think. Ist diese Frequenz frei? That's correct. So.
Yes, thank you.
Right, who wants to try it with their call sign, like Ian did? Who's going to try allgemeiner Anruf? Everyone's going quiet now. They're all shy now. Go on, Gerald.
Okay, I'll have another go. Ist diese Frequenz frei? CQ allgemeiner Anruf von G3 SD, what? Oh, I forgot SDY. Sierra Delta Yankee.
Okay. Very good.
Thanks, Gerald.
I'll leave that one.
Russell, were you wanting to have a go?
You know what? I'm trying to work out what allgemeiner Anruf is. Is it like a general call or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's exactly correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Allgemeiner Anruf, general call to all stations listening.
Perhaps want to change it, you can also say CQ von DL8 BDT. This will be also all right, but
right.
It's
I quite like the allgemeiner Anruf.
Yeah.
So CQ is always an allgemeiner Anruf to everybody who's listening.
Of course.
It's double, so you can say only CQ or CQ allgemeiner Anruf as you wish. Allgemeiner Anruf is a little bit more German, so to speak, but
yeah.
It's not compulsory.
That's fine. So I'd say CQ allgemeiner Anruf von G4 ZRZ.
Yes,
absolutely correct.
Brilliant.
Okay, so perhaps we go to part 2.
Hello, my name is Peter. Hallo, mein Name ist Peter.
Hallo, mein Name ist Peter.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, guten Morgen, guten Abend, excuse me, guten Morgen, guten Tag, guten Abend.
Guten Morgen, guten Tag, guten Abend. And any volunteers?
Yes, go on, Terry.
Yeah.
Hallo, mein Name ist Terry.
Very good.
Guten Abend.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Guten Abend.
Jeff?
Hallo, mein Name ist Jeff. Guten Morgen, guten Tag, guten Abend.
Yeah,
Very good.
correct, brilliant.
Gerald?
Hallo, mein Name ist Gerald. Guten Morgen, guten Tag, guten Abend.
Very good.
Very good, Sharon.
Right.
So just a question there is, Jeff was saying guten Tag, which I think is the, should we say a Dutch accent part of it? Is it guten Tag or guten Tag?
It's you can say guten Tag, but
Guten Tag.
yeah, but you will also hear Germans say guten Tag. This is
Okay.
you will
Apologies,
hear both.
Jeff.
Can hear both.
Of course, as to when to say what, Guten Morgen, it's every time up to noontime in the morning.
Yeah.
Guten Tag can be said also in the morning, but more usual in the afternoon. And Guten Abend, good evening, is something later than 6 p.m. I'd say, but it's not strict and rigid. You can take what you want. Guten Tag, good afternoon, is something which you can say the whole day long.
Yeah.
Except the night, of course.
Yeah, going back to Russell's, Gerald, I'll come into you a second. Going back to Russell's points, just like in England, and of course in the United States, English is spoken in a different way in different parts of the country.
Yeah.
And of course, exactly the same applies to the German language, that there are different variations of how people are talking, depend upon which area of the country they come from. And I think if you listen very carefully to Mike and Adriana, there is a very slight difference in their accents, if I'm right.
Perhaps, maybe.
Well, I didn't notice that before, but okay. Yeah, actually, we are from the same area, but there are differences in dialect throughout Germany, of course. And same as it is in the UK, these dialects differ very much. They have another kind of pronunciation of intonation even. And we try to speak the so-called High German, Hochdeutsch, which is the general form of German, like Germans always think of Queen's English or Oxford English as being a so-called High English pronunciation. I'm not quite sure if that is correct, but that's a saying anyway. And so our pronunciation should be the general German pronunciation of Hochdeutsch, High German. And of course, you can say it if you're in Bavaria, for example, it wouldn't be guten Abend, but something more pressed, like you have an example?
Oh. not for guten Abend, but in Bavaria, for example, the R is pronounced in another way. It's not as in northern Germany, but they roll the R. It's a R. And you will hear this in other parts of the country. And so if you perhaps talk to a German and you don't understand for the first time, might be he's talking with an accent. This might be Bavarian, or in the eastern part of Germany, in Saxonia, this will be a little bit else.
By the way, I remember something to mention. In the northern part of Germany, that's to say, every part north of Berlin, up to the Danish border and to the Dutch border in the west, it's very usual to greet people not with Guten Morgen, Guten Tag, and Guten Abend, but with Moin Moin, which is written Mike Oscar India November hyphen Mike Oscar India November. And it's like in the number 9, so it's called Moin Moin. This means I wish you a good day or good morning or good evening. And it's also something like hello, hello. That could be applied every time of the day, even at night time. And people will be quite surprised if you use that. For example, talking to someone from Bremerhaven or to Hamburg or Hanover. And
more south, it's a little bit complicated. When I was studying in a southern town, and in the afternoon I said, Moin Moin. Nobody wants to understand me. Anybody was wondering what I'm doing, if I'm just raising up in the afternoon or so, but in northern Germany, it's quite usual.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard in Bavaria and Austria, Grüß Gott.
Yeah, that's quite common there.
Yeah.
In the southern part.
That's exactly like Moin Moin in Germany, in northern Germany. And yeah, okay, so I think we move on to part 3.
It's my QTH is, mein QTH ist.
Mein QTH ist.
Your signal report is, Ihr Rapport ist.
Ihr Rapport ist.
5 und 9.
5 und 9.
Ah ja, 5 und 9.
5 und 9. Okay.
So
any questions to that?
Yeah, who wants to try any of these? Any volunteers to try these? Yes, go on, Jeff.
Okay. Mein QTH ist Alter. Ihr Rapport ist 5 und 7. Just make a little bit of variation. Thank you.
Uitstekend.
Danke.
I'm worried it's gone down. I'm worried, Jeff, it's gone down to 5 and 7. It was 5 and 9 plus 30 a minute ago.
Yeah, but QSB.
Ah, yeah, QSB.
QSB, denke ich, ja.
Yeah.
Right, anyone else want to try these? Everyone's gone very shy now. Go on, Gerald.
Mein QTH ist Huddersfield. Huddersfield, maybe. Ihr Rapport ist 5 und 9.
Very good. But Gerald, you said QTH, like in French.
I know.
QTH.
QTH.
Yeah,
sorry.
Correct.
Now, could I just point out on the other one when you were saying about the saying moin moin? Same as when I went to Oxford and said how do to people.
Oh,
yeah.
That'd be horrified. But greeting in Yorkshire used quite a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, that can be quite complicated sometimes, but nowadays, people are more accustomed to it, I think, with people traveling all over the place. But of course, you always sometimes get someone looking at you with big eyes if you're using that. But okay. So any other volunteers, or shall we continue?
Yeah.
Anyone else want to give it a try before we move on? Yeah, go on, Ken.
Mijn naam is Ken. Mijn QTA is de Guardemar. Report is de 5 en 9.
5 und 9. Oi, 9.
9.
Yeah.
Very good.
Very good. Very good.
Thanks.
Okay. So I think we should continue with part 4. Thank you.
Yeah. So thank you very much for the nice QSO. Is vielen Dank für das nette QSO.
Vielen Dank für das nette QSO.
And goodbye. 73 und auf Wiederhören.
73 und auf Wiederhören. That's a little bit difficult, I think, to pronounce, but yeah, who wants to give it a try?
I'll give it a go.
Yeah.
Vielen Dank für das nette Kurso. 73 und auf Wiederhören.
Yeah,
very good.
Very good.
Thank you.
Anyone else wants to have a go? Go on, Ian.
Vielen Dank für das nette QSO. 73 und auf Wiederhören.
Yeah.
Auf Wiederhören. Yes.
Hören. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sam, in KF3G.
A question, actually. Which is the difference between der Rapport and der Bericht? Bericht.
It's in usual language, rapport and Bericht is quite the same as someone to talk to give someone an information is a Bericht, and it can also be in the military language ein Rapport, but in a QSO you say Rapport, you don't say Bericht.
You're quite right. Rapport isn't originally a German word, but it's quite usual to tell your QSO partner that the quality is his rapport, which you could also phrase in another way. Ihr Signal ist, your signal is 5 and 9, for example. You could say that also, but this rapport is more formal, but it's more to the point, so to speak.
Okay, well, thank you. 73 und auf Wiedersehen.
Yeah. Auf Wiedersehen, you can say that also, but auf Wiederhören, hear you again. I sometimes use auf Wiedersehen as a German word in English QSOs, and some people point out that correctly it must be called Wiederhören, to hear you again, not to see you again, because I can't see him. I don't do amateur TV, but only SFB, and so Wiederhören is correct. But nobody will make any fuss about it if you say Wiedersehen. That's quite usual word, even if it is not exactly correct in this.
It's more general.
Yeah.
Quite a general expression.
And I've got a question in terms of the construction.
Yeah.
Because we've put in vielen Dank für das nette QSO, you could say vielen Dank für den Anruf.
Yeah.
Thank you for the call at the beginning. So if I've called CQ and I've got the response, and I immediately, my first words are vielen Dank voor den Anruf.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct.
Yeah.
So that would be in the beginning of the QSO, and that would be quite right, and a very nice way to commence a QSO, to begin a QSO, I think. Okay. Shall we proceed to the WX?
English favourite.
So we're getting into it now.
Yeah.
You've only got one page though.
No, it's actually these are 2 pages.
I'm going to say you need at least 12. This is England.
And your first question.
What are the weather conditions on your side? Wie ist das Wetter bei Ihnen?
Wie ist das Wetter bei Ihnen?
The weather here is, das Wetter hier ist,
Das Wetter ist, oder das Wetter hier ist.
good, gut,
Gut, Quatsch, gut. Entschuldigung,
Gut.
sorry, gut.
bad, schlecht,
Schlecht,
warm, warm,
warm,
cold, kalt,
kalt,
sunny, sonnig.
sonnig.
It is raining, es regnet.
Es regnet. Okay.
So,
There's more to come, but I think we should
yes.
remain
Stop
with
here.
this page.
If someone has a question.
Right, who wants to try any of this? What are the weather conditions on your side?
Could I just stick the things together? So could I say, das Wetter ist cold und es regnet?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
Ja, ja, das ist richtig. Ja.
Yeah.
You know.
But it is. It's cold and it's raining.
Over here.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, of course, you can combine it.
Yeah, good. So das Wetter ist schlecht.
Yeah, schlecht is very
Genau.
good pronunciation, by the
Yeah.
way. That's very difficult to describe this CHT, which is schlecht.
That's right. So we can go further on, perhaps.
No, someone who wants to give it a try, perhaps in reading this from top to bottom.
Who wants to give it a go? Anyone wants to try?
But we can continue
We can continue.
to the next page then.
Yeah, good idea. Yeah.
One thing, sunny, I would have said sonnig.
Yeah.
Yeah, funny.
Not with a K, I would have said it
You
soft.
can say both.
You put the finger on the wound, so to
Yeah.
speak. There are 2 means of pronunciation in German with the IG at the end. You can say sonnig, as it is laid down here in the pronunciation on the right side, but you can also say sonnig, like in ich.
Yeah, that's from Hannover.
Yeah, and you will find that people pronounce it this way and that way. It's both usable and both correct. This sonnig, I think, will be pronounced more like that in the northern part of Germany. Sonnig is more the conventional correct way to pronounce it in High German.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve.
It is snowing, es schneit.
Es schneit.
It is stormy, es ist stürmisch.
Es ist stürmisch.
It is foggy, es ist neblig oder neblig. That's the same thing here.
Es ist neblig.
And there is a thunderstorm coming up. Es kommt ein Gewitter.
Es kommt ein Gewitter.
It is cloudy. Es ist bewölkt.
Es ist
The sky is blue. Der Himmel ist blau.
Der Himmel ist blau. Okay.
So does anybody want to try or have a question? So if not, we can
Anyone want to try any of these?
Yeah, I'll give it a go.
Come on in.
Es schneit.
Ja.
Es ist stürmisch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Es ist neblig.
Yeah.
Es kommt ein Gewitter.
Ausgezeichnet. Very good.
Gewitter. I'd say Gewitter, not Gewitter. Gewitter.
Gewitter. That's
Gewitter, okay. Yeah, es ist bewölkt.
Bewölkt.
Bewölkt. Thank you very much. Es ist bewölkt.
Yeah, you don't speak the E as it is in the pronunciation. Yeah, you can therefore set a KT if you can speak that in the end.
And I think the last one's going to be my favorite. Der Himmel ist blau.
Yeah.
Der Himmel. Well, today the Himmel war blau in Germany. The Himmel was the sky was blue here, so we were quite enchanted with it. But okay, in the evening the rain started again as always.
Yeah, that last one won't be used very much up here. Up in Yorkshire for sure, in the Pennines.
Okay, so perhaps we should try the antenna and rig. What do you think?
Yeah, go on. Yeah, press on, Mike. Yeah.
Yeah. Antenna and rig.
Using an IC7300. Ich arbeite mit einem ICOM IC7300. You could also say ICOM IC7300, but we put it in separate numbers.
Ich arbeite mit einem ICOM IC7300.
With 100 watts output, mit 100 Watt Sendeleistung.
Mit 100 Watt Sendeleistung.
And a dipole antenna und einer Dipolantenne.
Und einer Dipolantenne.
A 3-element Yagi, einer 3-element Yagi.
Einer 3-element Yagi.
A vertical antenna, einer Vertikalantenne.
Einer Vertikalantenne.
Long wire antenna, Langdrahtantenne.
Antenne.
Horizontally polarized, horizontal polarisiert.
Horizontal polarisiert.
Vertical polarized, vertikal polarisiert.
Vertikal polarisiert. Yeah, that's a little bit more difficult now. Who wants to try it out?
Yes, go on, Jeff.
Okay, ich arbeite mit einem ICOM IC7300 mit 100 Watt Sendeleistung und meine Antenne ist eine Vertikalantenne, vertikal polarisiert.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. Anyone else want to have a crack at any of these? Go on, Terry, you need to unmute.
You thought I was actually going to say it.
I thought you were saying it, and I thought your
I was in the privacy of my own mute. Ich arbeite mit einem ICOM IC7300.
7300. Yes, but it's correct. Yeah.
700. I only have a 7,000.
So, okay. Yeah, now I get it. Okay.
Anyone else want to try? Incidentally, I think if you're saying you've got a dipole antenna, you can do the same as you do in England and just say und eine Dipole.
Yeah. einem Dipol.
Yeah,
Einem
you
Dipol.
don't have to say antenna. It's everybody will know what you're hinting at. A dipole or a Yagi, not necessarily a Yagi antenna. That's not necessary.
And the same's true for eine vertical.
Yeah, it can be abbreviated. That's okay. Hmm?
Oder ein vertikal strahlen.
Yeah. That's also would be an antenna which beams vertically, so to speak. Strahlen is the same as in to beam. Hmm?
Okay. Would you put things in front of that, like put a quarter wave or something? If I was quarter wave vertical or something.
Yeah, I think it's Viertelwellenantenne, but it's also okay if you abbreviate that with the usual English letters. Normally, for example, you have an end-fed half wave, say, and you would say an EFHW antenna, something like that. Or,
okay.
Or end-fed half wave. And you can, in German, you can also say, ich habe eine end-fed half wave Antenne oder ich habe eine entgespeiste Halbwellenantenne, which is much more complicated to pronounce, but everybody will understand what you say if you take the abbreviated version of that. Okay. So go on to the measurements.
Yep.
Yeah.
So meter is meter.
Meter, like in later.
Centimeter is centimeter.
Centimeter.
Hertz is Hertz.
Hertz. So it's not like Hertz, but Hertz in German.
And kilohertz is kilohertz.
Kilohertz.
Megahertz is megahertz.
Megahertz.
Milliwatt is milliwatt.
Milliwatt.
Watt is watt.
Watt.
Kilowatt is kilowatt.
Kilowatt.
So I think.
So some questions.
It's only Russell who needs the kilowatt when he's giving explanation.
I would struggle to get that out of my amplifier. 400 watt.
Yeah.
400 watt. Yeah, that's correct. I think that's the limit in the UK, isn't it?
Indeed, yeah.
In Germany, it's 750 watts, but you can never imagine what our neighbors would say if we would apply that. Very interesting indeed.
I think we can imagine. I think we can imagine what they would say.
So normally we stick to 50 watts to 100 watts, something like that in between, and it's quite okay. With 100 watts, you get a good signal out of the city and out of the continent even. And yeah, it's all about the antenna, I think.
Can go further on, or is there?
Yeah, no questions to that. No, okay. So we come to the bands, to the HF bands and further bands.
What the HF bands is the 10 meter band, 10 meter.
10 meter band, for example, or you're saying I'm working on 10 meters, but you can also say I'm working on 10 meter band. So it would be ich arbeite auf 10 Metern or ich arbeite auf dem 10 Meter Band.
Would you ever say just 10? Would you ever just say it's 10? You know, I'm on 10, like it's just say 10.
Yeah,
you can say that also.
Yeah, okay.
Everybody will understand. Yeah.
And then 12 is 12.
12.
15 is 15.
15.
17 is 17.
17.
20 is 20.
20.
30 is 30.
30.
40 is 40.
40.
80 is 80. 160 is 160.
60.
And then further bands 2 meter, 2 meter,
2 Meter.
4 meter, 4 meter,
4 Meter.
6 meter,
6 Meter.
and 23 centimeter, 23 Zentimeter.
23 Zentimeter.
70 cents, 70 Zentimeter.
70 centimeter. By the way, there is no abbreviation as in English for centimeters. I always hear cents for it, but there's no such abbreviation in Germany. They always say centimeter.
Oh.
Okay. So,
right, anyone wants to have a go at any of those? Pick your favorite band.
Yeah, go on, Nick.
Go on, Roger.
23 centimeter. There you go.
Yeah,
Let me try the others.
Yeah, go on, Roger. Then I'll call Jeffrey. Go on, Roger.
I'll try the others. 10 meter.
Yeah.
12. 15, 17, 20, 30, 40, 80, 160.
160.
160, yeah.
Yeah.
60, 23 Zentimeter,
Yeah.
and 70 Zentimeter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very understandable and very good pronunciation.
Thank you.
Thank you, Roger. Go on, Jeff.
10 Meter, 12 Meter, 15 Meter, 17 Meter, 20 Meter, 30 Meter, 40 Meter, 80 Meter, 160 Meter, 23 Zentimeter und 70 Zentimeter.
Sehr gut.
Sehr good. Thank you.
Yeah, good.
Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah.
Thank you, Steve, for the compliments to the various participants.
Almost like Jeff's.
Anyone else want to crack at any of these numbers?
Just a quickie from me.
Yes, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Under box 30, you've got Dreistig.
Yeah.
And that beta symbol is the equivalent of putting a double S in there.
Yeah, that's correct.
That's correct, yeah.
That is Delta Romeo Echo India, and then that's something common in German for double S. Nowadays, there are some people who write these signs with a double S, but in Dreisig, for example, that's the common way to write it down. And we even got these signs on the computer to use. So it's another further sign on top of the 26 letters of the alphabet. That's correct, yeah. And you may find this very curious sign, which looks a little bit like a B, like a letter Bravo. Also, in other words, like fleißig, industrious, or other words. And it's from the old German way to write something. there are other ways which have perished in the course of the history, but this is still very much in use. There are other things which are not used any longer and have gone down with Goethe and Schiller. I'd say that there was some things they used, but later on that was banished from the way of writing.
Find it also in words like viele Grüße, many greetings, and now we have a new way to write it, but in words where you have an EI or an AU, and you have something which is pronounced like double S, you have to use this sign, which is in German called SZ. SZ.
Mm-hmm. That's the correct way to describe it. It is SZ. Of course, actually it is double S, not SZ. But in very olden times it was spelled SZ with two letters, the letter Sierra and the letter Zulu. And later on, this sign which we have here in Dreisig developed from SZ. And nowadays, as I said, there are some people spelling it double S, but that would be wrong in, say, if you learn it at school, you learn it like it is spelled here.
German schools with little children, they are taught to call it the Rucksack S. The S with a rucksack, what's that?
like a Klansman can.
Does it actually have a name in German, that symbol?
Yeah.
SZ.
Yeah, it's called SZ.
It is called just SZ, right? Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
We call it SZ.
Okay, so we hurry on to actually the last page, the output.
Yes, it's 5 watts, it's 5 Watt, 10 watts, 10 Watt, 20 watts, 20 Watt,
20 Watt,
50 watts, 50 Watt,
50 Watt,
100 watts, 100 Watt.
Yeah, oder 100 Watt. You can say 100, 100, or you can just say 100.
Could be 200.
And 400 watt, 400 Watt.
400 Watt, yeah.
Yes.
100 watt for 100.
Yeah, you can combine this when you, for example, have 150 watts. You would say 150 or short 150.
You say 150.
150, yeah.
No.
Or 75 watts would be 75 Watt. As you may notice, it's not from left to right as in English, 75, like 70 and 5, but 75, so it's 5 and 70 if you translate it directly. And that's some curious element in German language, but we just put it the other way around.
So hence the 73.
73. That's correct. That would be the last page.
Oh, sorry, I forgot that.
Yeah, someone has got a question about these output things.
In fact,
yeah,
it's Richard again. In fact, it's similar when you tell the time as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Instead of saying half past the hour, you say half to the hour.
That's very confusing.
And if you're not sure about all that, all you have to say is, schreiben Sie bitte auf langsamer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If anybody doesn't know what that means, is please write it down slowly.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, yeah. It's sometimes a little bit difficult, but there are different ways to tell the time. For example, in northern Germany and in southern Germany, or in east and western Germany, it's quite different and complicated. Sometimes, even as a German, you wonder, what has he said now? I'm not quite sure about that.
There's parts of England like that too, don't worry.
Okay. So we share that these problems, I think, but nevertheless, I think with a little bit goodwill, everybody will understand what you're saying, even if you're not quite 100% correct or sure about it.
No.
Okay, so I think that was it. Thank you very much. The last page would be that what I'm pronouncing now myself. Vielen Dank für Ihre Aufmerksamkeit. Thank you very much for your attention. 73. 73.
Yeah.
Und 88.
71 und 88.
Yeah. Thank you again for this possibility, and I hope it wasn't too awkward.
Vielen Dank.
Adrian and Mike, where are you from in Germany?
We are from the northwestern part of Germany. Perhaps you know Bremerhaven, south of that.
Yeah.
South of that is Bremen, and we are located 30 miles west of Bremen. Oldenburg, like old castle. Oldenburg.
Oldenburg is ganz schön. Ganz schön. Yeah.
Yeah, we like it very much here. Thank you.
Have a holiday there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I've been all around Germany. Yeah, Bremerhaven, Bremen, and Ort, and
so it's a small world.
Yeah. Schöne Gebiet. Yeah, with the alte Hause. The outer farmhouse.
Yeah, it's very nice here. Of course, it's very flat country. It's not so scenic as in southern Germany, with all the mountains and so on, and the woods. Well, we have woods also here, but not so much. And of course, there's this saying in northern Germany, the flat country. If you look out of your window on Monday afternoon, you can see who will come visit you on Tuesday morning.
Ja, ganz Gebiet. Ja, schön. Okay.
Brilliant. Thank you, Mike and Adrian, and everyone else as well who's participated tonight. Can we first of all show our appreciation to Mike and Adrian for great presentation. Thank you.
Vielen Dank. Dankeschön. Alles Gute. Tschüss. And you can say tschüss. Can we say tschüss?
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, thank you everyone. That was very good indeed, and I think the only way of taking this on a step further is to try some QSOs on air.
Yeah.
So I think I might this is my challenge actually to people here for our next meeting. Who wants to have a go at having a QSO in German with a German amateur and recording it and playing us back the recording?
Oh gosh.
There's a challenge. Now there's a challenge. Maybe not for Jeff, because it's too easy for you, Jeff. But for other people in the room,
I'm willing to give it a go, but I won't have time before the next meeting. Maybe
well, that's sometime. Let's come back to it, because it will be. I mean, I think the thing about language is it's what we use, all of us, in our different countries. We use language all the time, and the only way to learn how to use it is to use it. You cannot get it from just listening, and you definitely can't get it just from reading a book or some papers. The only way of getting there is to try and to start with. And I think Mike and Adrian were saying that to us all along tonight, even if it didn't sound 100% right, as long as you can be understood, and not only that, you're going to get the credit for trying to speak someone else's, then I think you've gone a long way. And the more you do it, the more closer and closer you'll get to being correct. That's my take on all languages. So thank you, everybody. It was a brilliant evening and good fun. Yes, Steve, go on.
Very quickly, the other night on 7145 kilohertz, Delta Lima 9 November Oscar DL9 NO. That was a call sign.
Oh, that you were listening to on 40 meters, yeah.
4145.
7145, yeah.
It was about 5:15 the other night.
Yeah, 40 meters is probably a good band.
I'll tell you what it was. It was a special program. It was from Nuneaton, Jim from Nuneaton, using G100 BBC.
Oh.
Golf 100 Bravo Bravo Charlie. It was a special program going out this month. 100 years of BBC to do with the 100 years of amateur radio, is it? No? I'm not sure, but it was a special program. G100 BBC.
Formation of the BBC, I think.
Yeah, 1922, wasn't it?
Sorry, yeah, formation of the BBC. It was Jim working from Nuneaton.
Yeah, Steve, what you've just said there is going to be good for people trying this out. Afternoons and early evenings, certainly during the day at the moment, 40 meters is open between England and Germany, mainly for QSO. So if anyone wants to have a try at this, the challenge I've thrown down, the Denby Dale Radio Club Challenge, we'll have to think of a prize for this, Ian. We need a prize for the first person, not a club officer, the first person who comes up with their recording of part of a QSO, not even a whole QSO, just some of it in German that they can play back. And we'll award them a Denby Dale Club prize. Go on, Gerald.
There should be a bottle of German beer as the prize, don't you think?
Great.
Can I do one more?
Yes, go on, Steve.
There was a chap from the Netherlands, Peter, who was celebrating 50 years on air. It was PA Papa Alpha 50 NKZ. That was his call sign. Papa Alpha 50 November Kilo Zulu.
Thank you, Steve. Yeah, what you've been listening to there is some of these special events.
That was on the 14th of March.
Yeah, what we call these, Steve, special event stations. So people are putting on, radio amateurs are putting on special event stations in Germany or England or other parts of the world and making lots of contacts using those call signs. Okay, everyone. Well, look, I'm going to hit the end record button and thank Mike and Adrian again for a great presentation tonight, and everyone else for participating. So thanks everybody for being good sports, and we'll work our way through in that inimitable bad way that English people do in trying to speak a foreign language, a number of other languages. So Jeff, I'll come to you to see where we're going to go next, I think, on the language front, and I haven't forgotten the offer from Finland and St. Petersburg and Russia as well. So we can even have a bit of amateur radio controversy here by inviting Raisa from St. Petersburg to come and give us some Russian lessons. Okay, everyone, I'm going to end the record on that note. Thank you.
Thank you.